Hi, I'm Tim Donner along with Andrew Moran, Dave Patterson, Graham Noble, and John Claude. And this is the Conservative Five, an online TV production of Liberty Nation News. We are back to twist the brain and have a little fun with our panel of overly excitable people, except for Dave, who cheats, and Graham, who, despite his young age, can certainly be considered a curmudgeon. Okay, so Andrew is running the board this time, so things will get definitely weird and possibly incomprehensible. Andrew, take it over.
I'm sorry. I have a terrible cough. That's just lingering, but nobody cares about that. Anyway, I am back, baby, unfortunately. Dave has been filling in for me for the last couple of shows, so everyone give a round of applause for Dave for doing a wonderful job.
So I'll do some polite golf applause.
Or the Nancy Pelosi applause.
Dave made it easier because Dave's answers kind of narrowed it down for us because of the satire that your test is harder. Sorry.
All right, so before we get down to the nitty-gritty, this is for the audience. If you prefer Dave Patterson as your host of Just for Fun, please comment. If you prefer me, Andrew Moran, as your host of Just for Fun, hit that like button. So now on to the
Oh, here we go.
We have
Eternal strife.
Excuse me. We have a list of trivia questions about news of the day. But since Tim Donner is gracing us with his presence as the host of the show, I have to toss in some baseball questions into the mix related to the 2025 baseball season. So excellent, good choice. But they're really analytics questions, so let's see.
Graham will think it's unfair because he believes baseball is about as exciting as a beer growing competition.
Possibly more exciting than cricket. So there's that.
Well, Andrew, we're going to have to work on educating or re-educating these people.
We've said that for years, and nothing's ever transpired from that. So anyway, now on to the questions here. Now, question number 1. What form of identification will you soon need to board domestic flights? Is it a library card, a real ID, or a frequent flyer card?
Real ID.
Tim got that. Yeah. Nice. Tim's on the board with 1. Question number 2. For what service is former President Joe Biden reportedly charging $300,000 for? Is it speaking, autographs, or posing?
Hey, autograph. Hey, speaking.
That's it.
How come it says posing? I think I would love to see former President Biden posing. But anyway, the answer is speaking. And I do believe Graham got that one.
Well, it can't be a signature because all he can use is the auto pad.
Yes.
And I don't think people would pay $300,000 for that.
All right,
It costs a lot of money to transport that thing across the country, so maybe that's why they would charge that much for it.
Yes.
No,
On your lock and key.
question number 3. What team is currently leading Major League Baseball with a runner in scoring positions and 2 outs? Is it the Boston Red Sox, the New York Mets, or the Cincinnati Reds?
Any Boston Red Sox.
Actually, no, that is incorrect.
Cincinnati Reds.
Yes, Joe Schaefer, you will happy to hear this. It is the Cincinnati Reds leading the league with runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Congratulations.
You see, I guess you used some logic there. I figured it was your team.
Exactly.
They're terrible with runners in scoring position. Have you seen them? There was another night. It was a runner on second and third, no out. What do? They fumbled and they didn't get anything. Oh, they're terrible in these situations. They're really good when there's no runners on base. They're excellent. They're on the top in the league. Their offense is incredible, but they crumble under pressure when it's runner on second, runner on third. Anyway, question number 4. Who will former Vice President Kamala Harris have a one-on-one conversation with at next month's fundraiser for the Democratic National Committee? Is it DNC Chair Ken Martin, Senator Bernie Sanders, or John
A.
Clark?
Ken Martin.
German.
C.
Ken Martin. A.
The answer is yes, DNC Chair Ken Martin. Dave is finally on the board. So, question number 5. On April 22nd, the Supreme Court considered whether Maryland parents' rights were violated when they couldn't opt their children out of lessons on what topics? Is it gay and transgendered, DEI, or critical race theory?
Gay and transgender.
Yeah. You know what, freak man, our kids, they read one of those stories in first grade class in their day about this kid who has her own, who doesn't want to be identified as a sister, and she has her own pronouns. Anyway, the answer is gay and transgender, and Tim got that one, so Tim is leading 2-1. All right. Speaking of leading 2-1, what team's third baseman has the highest wins above average, or WAR, compared to the rest of the league? Is it the Boston Red Sox Alex Bregman, the San Francisco Giants Matt Chapman, or the New York Mets Mark Vientos?
I'm going to go with Matt Chapman.
No, it is the Boston Red Sox Alex Bregman, who has a 1.4 WAR.
You see what he did there, people. What he did was he threw us a curveball in the first one to make it seem like he wasn't going to give Red Sox.
Yeah.
I know.
And Dave questions, and
Yeah, I did.
and that's very clever. Very clever.
Because I would have chosen the Cubs.
Well, my favorite pitch is the knuckleball, so you gotta say the knuckleball instead of the curveball. When I was a kid, I could throw a very good curveball, but now I'm old. It doesn't happen anymore. Anyway, so next question. Name the Democratic senator who announced on April 23rd that he would not seek re-election after serving for nearly 3 decades in the upper chamber. My goodness. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, or Senator Mark Warner of Virginia?
Hey, Dick.
Durbin. That's a tie.
We do that one, right, Graham? We do that one. They're just quicker off the base.
But yeah, unfortunately, Davis was actually tied now, 2 apiece, and Graham has 1. All right. Next question.
I'm the loser.
Klaus Schwab abruptly withdrew from his role as the head of which organization? The World Economic Forum, the World of Eating the Bugs, or the Closed Society Foundations?
Hey, World Economic Forum.
Yes, Dave has that. Yes, Dave is in the lead. 3-2. Yes. Now, next question. What pitcher is leading the league in walks allowed? Is it the New York
Red Sox. Oh, sorry.
Mets.
Is it the New York Yankees Carlos Rodon, the Boston Red Sox Garrett Crochet, or the Baltimore Orioles Charlie Morton?
I'll say Charlie Morton.
Yes, God, yeah, Tim, you got that one. Yeah, it is Charlie Morton. He's having quite an interesting season after being, quite a dependable pitcher for so long.
Well, he's washed up.
Yeah, probably. Well, the Baltimore Orioles, I mean, they're in the basement of the American
Hard to
League East.
believe.
That's been surprising. Yeah, because they're such a nice young core of talent. Anyway, nobody cares about the Baltimore Orioles except maybe Graham. So, next question. On Thursday, PC District Judge Colleen Collar-Cotelli ruled that states don't have to make voters do what to register? Is it show ID, raise and
show
vote,
ID.
or pledge allegiance?
Breathe.
Yes, Dave is correct. Show ID. It is now
Hey, the
tied.
next
3-3.
sports
Grant
question,
still is-
Rory McIlroy.
Red
Question.
Sox.
Mets.
That's the John. That's the answer to the last question. Anyway, next question. Name the technology some police departments are using to find criminals online. Is it Craigslist personals, AI personas, or targeted ads?
AI personas.
Yeah, actually, John got that. I believe. Yes, AI personas.
I would give it to him. I think Graham is being awfully sort of somnambulistic here during this lively little
Yeah, I think he's asleep.
tete-a-tete.
I think the biggest surprise of this question is that Craigslist is still around. When I was in high school or middle school, that website was very popular. I don't know if anyone used it.
Back in the days of AOL.
Yes.
I use it to sell cows and sheep and hay.
Who is the deported illegal alien some Democrats have gone to visit in El Salvador in an effort to return him to the U.S.? Is it the Maryland Man, or the Maryland Man?
The Maryland Man.
I say,
Baltimore Orioles.
Rigo Garcia.
I say,
He's the
dude,
Maryland Man.
I get to win because I say D, all of the above.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, put Tim on the board. Yeah, look at that. 4-3. Anyway, so last question here. This is a doozy. Who will win the 2025 World Series? Is it the Boston Red Sox, the New York Mets, or the Toronto Blue Jays?
And Boston Red Sox.
Your livelihood depends on the answer to this question.
Boston Red Sox.
Mets.
How about you, John? Who do you think's going to win?
I couldn't care less.
That's not an answer, John.
The Baltimore Orioles, at least they're a bird.
And then how about you, Graham? Who do you think will win the World Series of those three teams?
Well, I'm going to go with, and not because Tim said this, but through a process of elimination, who's not going to win it, I'm going to go with the Mets.
Ooh,
So,
good
since
choice. Good choice. Great wisdom,
I
Greg.
guess everyone is fired because no one picks the New York Mets. So anyway, everyone, that is it for Just for Fun. Remember, if you prefer Dashing Beef Patterson, please comment that you prefer or hit the like if you like Andrew Moran as the Just for Fun host. Now return to Tim Donner.
Hope we left you rolling in the aisles. Thanks for tuning in. So that's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform, YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble. We're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation News has its own Roku channel where you can see all of our TV productions. Now, Liberty Nation does not endorse candidates, campaigns, or legislation, and this presentation is no endorsement. I'm your host, Tim Donner, filling in for Sarah Cowgill. Thanks for joining us today for the latest news and commentary. Your choice for free thinking, free speech, libertynation.com.